And we should be live. Welcome back, nerds, turds, and 2-month-old baby Chell, to another live stream repair. We've got a pretty easy night for ourselves here. Just one showed up here today, and it is from Suzanne. I don't actually know what is wrong with it yet, but we are going to find out here and shoot them a quick email letting them know we're here and ready and getting it fixed up. And then we've also got a couple of HomePods from a Mr. Nicholas that has worked with us in the past. They want to get theirs fixed up. And well, actually, I believe one, if not both of them, work just fine. They actually sent them in so they could get some maintenance done. We're going to replace the diodes and check them for any DC offset. And more importantly, they're going to get them colored, one pink and one purple. So we haven't done a pink one yet. I'm pretty excited to see how that'll turn out. I've got the dies on hand to do it, so I might try to knock that out here tonight, if not tomorrow, and we'll share the results with you guys. Anyways, let's find Suzanne in our emails and let them know that we're about to get their HomePod fixed. Ooh, I was incorrect. They do not have power issues. They actually have DC offset issues. All right. Let's let them know it's here and we're getting started. All right. Ooh. Let's get their box opened up. Let's get their name up on the screen so you guys can see what we're doing here. Bum. So we've got Suzanne with DC offset. That's the right spelling, right? Yes, cool. Okay. Very nicely packed. And taped together. That is the right way to do it. If you don't tape your boxes together, they can very easily come apart in shipping, and the power cable likes to wrap around the mesh and leave like imprints and like dents in the mesh. So, is that Jeff? What is up? What is up, my guy? Ooh, you did an absolutely amazing job wrapping up that cable too. I'll never get how people can get them back together so nice like that. That's why I just leave it. I just unplug it and leave it in the box because I don't want to mess it up or try to come anywhere close to as good as that. I cannot. Well, here's a good power cable. Not that it really matters much. We know that this thing doesn't have any power issues. So let's get it powered on and check our symptoms here. With DC offset issues, usually you can judge how bad it is by how loud of a pop it has when it comes in and out of standby mode. So since it's already appears to be factory reset, we got to listen very quickly. Right before it plays the setup tone, if there is a problem, it's gonna pop. I was talking, so probably won't be able to hear that, but let's listen after I unplug it from power. Yeah, no, that's a pretty severe pop. So We seem to definitely have some issues going on inside of there. But let's get it taken apart so we can connect a multimeter to the amplifier, which will allow us to confirm what we believe to be the issues, or where the issues are coming from, which is those filters on the amplifier that go bad over time and allow DC voltage through where it shouldn't go. And that tends to result in the pop that you hear, because your audio going into a speaker is analog, or AC, not DC, if you didn't know. I honestly didn't know that myself until I started fixing HomePods. When I started trying to learn what DC offset was in audio amplifiers, that was when I learned that audio is an AC signal. And once you think about it, it actually, yeah, of course, it makes sense. But intuitively, I always thought it was a DC signal because, of course, you've got a positive and a negative whenever you're wiring up speakers, right? So you'd think DC. Not the case. So you get a bunch of unwanted DC voltage going into your speaker. Not only is it going to pop whenever it turns on or off, but it's also going to roast the voice coil. And it puts the speaker and amplifier both under more load and work than it really needs to be doing, or more than it should. And because it's putting it under a constant load, it's warming up, and since it's DC not AC, the subwoofer will move in one direction or the other and then stay there. And normally with your AC audio that you're pumping into the speaker, since it's moving in both directions equally, it's cooling itself in that way. But with DC voltage, since it's holding that speaker in one place and keeping it there, it's going to heat up and it's not going to cool itself off. Ooh, HomePod with Wi-Fi issues. So are you saying it does it show up when you like factory reset it and bring your phone near it, or does it have some other kind of Wi-Fi issues? Because I've been working on trying to be able to replace the Wi-Fi chip on the logic board. I've got plenty of logic board parts to like pull good Wi-Fi chips off of. I just need to get good enough at replacing the chip itself, because there's a bunch of underfill around the chip on the board that holds it in place. And I need to get my hands on a soldering template for it, so that way we can clean the old solder off the chip and the board and then put fresh solder on and put it in place, because you can't just smear a bunch of solder onto the chip and slap it onto the board. Not as easy as many of the other repairs that you see us do here. Oh yeah, if you're wondering what the flashing red light and the noise in the background is, if you haven't noticed, I've got another live stream going on 24/7 on my channel now, where I've got a bunch of bricked blinking volume button HomePods on a smart switch that automatically randomly turns on and off. Because recently I had that setup going for about a week, and suddenly two of them, while we were live streaming yesterday, two of them just snapped out of it and started working just fine. That would be these two fellas. So we still have to test them and see if they work consistently or not, or if they just go back to failure mode. If they go back to failure mode quickly, then that would indicate to me there's a hardware issue. But if they stay working, that would indicate to me that it's almost certainly a software issue alone. It shows up when I bring my iPhone near it, but it doesn't connect to Wi-Fi. It fails over and over. Do you get like an error code associated with that? And I'm also curious if you've been able to try any other Wi-Fi networks. If you have, so I'm fortunate enough to have a personal phone and then actually a phone that work provides to me. So my work phone is an iPhone 13, and then my personal phone is a Google Pixel. And whenever if I like in the past I was selling HomePods, and people wanted to set them up, but we were like in a McDonald's parking lot or whatever, I would just run a Wi-Fi hotspot on my Google Pixel and then connect my iPhone to the Pixel hotspot, and that always worked. So I've seen that suggested online on a lot of Reddit posts with people that have those issues where they can't get it connecting to their Wi-Fi network, is to at least nail down whether it's a hardware issue or your Wi-Fi issue. You can try a mobile hotspot on your phone, but it does require you to have like a second phone that has an internet connection. So not a lot of people obviously have that. And then one of the obvious questions is there anything special about your Wi-Fi? Like, are you using like public or college Wi-Fi or anything like that? Or do you own and run and control your Wi-Fi router and all that? Do you manage it yourself? All your other HomePods run on your Wi-Fi fine. Interesting. Okay, that's good to know. So it would seem likely that it is some sort of Wi-Fi issue then. That's strange. It's strange that it goes through the set, like your phone detects it when you bring it near, but then it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi network. I guess that means the Bluetooth is working, but the Wi-Fi isn't. Yeah, if it does give you like an error code when it fails, let me know what you see when you try it. You can email me to nick@nicksfix.com. If it's not during one of our streams, you can email me that code and I'll try to look into see what it could possibly mean. Although it does smell a lot like a hardware issue then at that point, if the other HomePods work fine with the same stuff. It's stuck on 14.3 or 14.6. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna need to know what Wi-Fi router you got. Also curious, I'm assuming all of your other HomePods that work fine, you have them relatively up to date, like OS 15 or 16. Ah, I almost forgot. Oh, the Euro Wi-Fi 6? Okay. Chef is in the house. Stan's in the house. What is up, fellas? Yeah, so it could either be a hardware issue with your Wi-Fi in the HomePod, or maybe it could be an incompatibility with your new Wi-Fi router and the older OS on the HomePod. So then I'm curious if you can think of when you got your Wi-Fi router, the timing between the ones that stopped working and the ones that are still working, if there's a correlation with that, and when you updated them. So, like, did you have all of the HomePods that you have now back when these ones that broke? Or did you get these working HomePods after these other ones broke? And then how does that correlate to the timing of you getting new Wi-Fi routers since then? I'm a silly goose. We didn't check the subwoofer, which is really important, especially with DC offset issues, as we were talking about it roasting the woofer. Looks good, feels good, and it smells good. So we got lucky with a good looking woofer still. You had it stop working when you had Wi-Fi 4. Okay. That is kind of dusty. That is much better. So, for diagnosis, we are going to power this board up, connected to our subwoofer and multimeter there on the bench, and that will tell us, just give us confirmation that our filters are bad and that's what's causing our issues. I need to pull another ribbon cable because we finally destroyed our last one that's seen many repairs here on the channel. And this is the one that I've had a USB cable soldered to in case anybody finds a fix for the bricked volume buttons issue via USB. But no luck yet. What's this thing doing? Holy moly, 260 millivolts and almost at 300 already. So, good filters shouldn't let more than 50 millivolts through. So that is a pretty gnarly failure there. Not the worst we've seen by far, but definitely enough to start causing damage. And as we saw there, since it was growing pretty rapidly too, what'll happen is in a short period of time, as they warm up to operating temperature, they will start to allow upwards of 3 to 6 volts of DC through the amp, at which point the amp will trigger the death fart and restart behavior. So that is behavior that is programmed and built into the amp to do when your DC offset gets so bad. That is what causes your death farts. It's basically saying, I am so broken, please fix me. I'm gonna restart now. Goodbye. Oh yeah, so I've been playing with the Sing Cell Alpha that we got earlier today. My first impressions, I gotta say, amazing. Like, absolutely incredible. I am blown away. My expectations were high, and they still passed them. They exceeded them. The level and depth of bass that this thing can put out is like next level. It's basically, and this is really what I was hoping for, and I got it. It's basically a bigger HomePod. And it's got the sub on the top and the bottom. It's just able to pump out so much volume in bass, and it sounds so incredibly clear and clean, even though it has fewer tweeters, technically, than the OG HomePod. It just, 100% win on that thing. Absolutely owns. Do I see myself going for at least a pair? If I can get my hands on them for less than retail, I mean, I can see how they're absolutely worth retail price alone. But if I can, I will definitely be getting at least one more. Oh, I can't imagine what two would sound like. The one alone just totally blew me away. My iron's playing games with me here today. Okay. So we've got some fresh solder there. We're just gonna a little more flux and then put some fresh filtering caps on there. I keep calling them filtering caps. At the end of the day, they're no different than just they are just regular MLCC capacitors. They're rated a little more tolerant to heat to a certain degree than standard cheap ones are. But aside from that, capacitors naturally filter out DC voltage, so they do make for good filters to remove DC offset. Beautiful. Gotta open my window up. I don't want to give myself anything early. All right. Those look fantastic. Let's flip the board over and look at our diode. This is the part that likes to fail and cause no power. And this one does have 1746K on it, which is the batch that we know. I'm going to have to close my window. I didn't realize people were doing yard work this late. Two strokes are one of the largest contributors to pollution. Sorry, that was weird. Let's get this diode replaced. Okay, brand new diode. Okay. Let's pop this on there. Let's see if we've got our offset in spec again, and then we can put this back together. What do we got? Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Amazing. Less than 1 millivolt. And holding relatively steady, too. You cannot get much better than that. And no significant popping when we unplug it from power. So that is all great signs that this is fixed up and ready for service again. So let's get it put back together, and then we'll see how many of Nicholas's pods here we can get through. Actually, I only need to take Nicholas's apart because we're going to be dyeing his mesh too, so his should be pretty quick. Hey, listen, you can't expect me to not crack a wise one along those lines every once in a while. Given half our premise behind these repairs being saving, a bunch of this time, effort, resource from going straight into the landfill after only being in use for a year or two. So, yeah. Very nice. Amp secured. Power supply secure. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Fred. Have a good one and good luck. I can't give discounts or like trades for other HomePods. The best that I can do is offer free repairs and return shipping on another broken one that we can fix. If you wanted to trade any unfixable broken ones in, which is which is the big reason why that is so we can get the parts to help offset and get more repairs done. But I unfortunately don't have enough like working ones just set aside on hand to do anything like a trade in your broken one, exchange it for a working one kind of thing. That's at least for now. If I ever manage to like get my hands on like a huge number of HomePods for whatever reason, that could all change. Hey, we're just doing our best. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just wait and see. I've got some stuff cooking. Wow, you got it from pre-order too. Yes, well, very soon I hope here I will have the replacement process for the Wi-Fi chip nailed down, and between that and potentially finding a way to fix bricked logic boards, we'll be able to offer repairs for way more issues. We're talking, blinking volume buttons ones, obviously, and the Wi-Fi ones. But pretty much in any case where the logic board would need to be replaced, we'll be able to do that. So I'm starting to feel pretty hopeful about this work we're working on. We're getting close. We are getting close. I have developed a blister on my finger from doing so many of these. Ouch. Nah, see, I might seem like that, but I mean, there are guys out there that have gone way farther than I have as far as hardware repairs on HomePods. There's a few guys in Germany that have, I mean, chip repairs and replacements on logic boards is a walk in the park for them. To me, it's an pretty unknown territory and still mostly a nightmare to do. The electric screwdriver, the only problem is it's not magnetized. So for any of the places where I'm putting screws in that can't stay in the hole, I have to use this one. So I've tried magnetizing the tip. I've tried different tips. It won't work. So I'm just gonna glue another magnet into the tip there and call it good. Let's give this one a quick sanity check. Of course, we're not going to know for sure if it's really fixed or not without a factory reset and a thorough test overnight. But we're just going to make sure it powers on and plays sound just fine here and it doesn't pop too severely. If it does pop, we don't really want to hear it too loud. If it still pops really loud, then we'll know something is obviously still up. Okay, so it still sounds fantastic. And hell if any pop. Awesome. So let's put that one to the side and let's grab Nick's pods here. We're just going to be breaking them down for now since they need to get colored up. Hey, Suzanne is here. Glad you could make it. Yeah, 10 times out of 10, if the DC offset is gone when we test it, and then there's no issues when we power it on here on the bench, we don't see any problems testing them overnight. So we typically let people know that they're fixed up, ready to go. We get them paid up, so that way I can ship them first thing out the door tomorrow morning. If anything comes up while they're still being tested overnight, I do let them know ahead of time before I just, box them up and say, fuck it, and send it to the post office. No. As a matter of fact, I think it was Todd's from yesterday. I was taking his off of the test bench and packing it up to ship out, and it rattles. Actually, let me go grab it for you guys so I can show you. Here is Tom's HomePod from yesterday. We got it fixed up. It passed all of our tests and sanity checks here on the bench. It even passed overnight. And I only noticed this when I picked it up and put it into his box to ship it back. It's hard to hear it over me, but I'm sure you can hear that. So, I don't know what that is, but we're going to get that apart later tonight and figure it out. Oh! Nick sent chocolates the first time, and here he is at it again with some more. I'm personally not a fan of dark chocolate. However, the wife is an absolute fan, so I've been sneaking these to her, and she does appreciate it, and she really likes both the Ghirardelli and the Lindors, so who doesn't? Okay, so here's the first one. It's actually brand spanking new. So we're gonna get it apart. Didn't sound like a loose screw because it sounded more like plastic. I'm wondering if maybe like a piece of plastic was like floating around on the bench and like stuck to the bottom of the board, or a screw or something when I was putting it back together. So this is the brand new one. It still actually has the plastic film on it, which actually we have the pleasure of removing because they want the top to be colored as well. So this is for you guys. I would like to find a source for good replacement protectors for these. People would eat those up. I am people. There we go. Yeah, for any of mine that I've ever gotten with the plastic still on it, because obviously I've bought most of mine used or broken, I've kept the plastic on it. There's no harm in that. And you're loony if you think it has any bearing on it overheating it or causing any touch issues or anything like that. I've seen you on Reddit try to say that. No. I have data to back that up. I have thermal images to prove you wrong. Ha! Look at that. So Nick actually sent these in a few days ago, and he put a little label under here that says number 8, serviced February 23rd. And he also told us that we could take our time getting to them, so of course we did. We've had quite a few the past few days, but we got to Nick's here today, and today is the 23rd, and we happen to be servicing it here on the 23rd. So what do you think of that? Alright, time to switch out for the T5. So we can pop this mesh off. One, two, skiddly do. And then we'll pop the parts in here. And let's grab the other one and get their mesh off. We're going to fully disassemble this and do the board repair and maintenance tomorrow. This one, I believe, has some issues. I'm going to double check our email. Let's see. This one pops horrendously. Great shape, runs cosmetically, runs for about an hour before a loud pop and restart. That was my body, not the HomePod, if you heard that pop. Oh yeah. Nope, that's got a pretty fair pop there too. So let's get this mesh off too, and then we're gonna call it good for today's stream. I'll get prepared to dye the mesh, and then we will finish repairing these and put them back together with their fresh colors. Oh, question for y'all folks. Did you get a notification that I went live for this stream, yes or no? I'm curious if my 24/7 live stream with the bricked HomePods impacted the notifications of any other live streams. I think it will. I think it might have had an issue with one person. Whew. Okay. You don't have notifications on? Okay. I don't have notifications on for literally anybody or anything myself personally. So if you don't for me, that's perfectly fine. But I know there are those of you out there that do. I guess I should have said that. If you do have notifications turned on, did you get them for this? Okay, and then we're just gonna keep track of which one's which here. Where did my Sharpie go? Okay. Let's get the mesh off and then we'll be done here for the day. Interesting, so nobody got a notification. Okay. So I suppose I am going to need to either make a second YouTube channel for the 24/7 live stream, or just do that one on Twitch. What's your guys' take? Second YouTube. One vote for second YouTube. I'm sure everybody here on YouTube's gonna vote for the second YouTube channel over the Twitch channel, but I figured I'd throw it out there. Okay, subwoofer is still alright. It almost smelled a little weird for a second there, but we good. Okay, so we've got both broken down enough to start dyeing them. We're going to do pink and purple. And then tomorrow we are going to finish taking these apart, do the usual repairs and replacements, and then put them back together with their fresh new colors. So folks, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you're looking for more info to do your own repairs or send it in to be fixed here on the channel, check out the website, nixfix.com. You may want to do a second giveaway for automotive stuff you are planning. We will consider it. Folks, thanks again. I will catch you all in the next one.